like whatever, and it'll be like, we'll use Tom Ferry as a, because of his energy and this and that. So there's a lot of different things you can do, even with the scripting piece of it. That's just how I use it.
I use it to rewrite articles too. Like if I'm doing an email blast, that's a great way to use it. So I'm not like copying word for word.
Are you doing a
Grammarly.
paid version? Are you using a paid version, Dan?
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
I have the paid version, and I'll tell you, it's totally worth it. But I have I also use like some plugins like AI PRM. If anyone's using ChatGPT and you don't use AI PRM, it's a really good plugin. So it's a Chrome plugin. I think they might have a Firefox one too, but it's a Chrome plugin that plugs into ChatGPT, and you link them, and it has like a ton of different auto prompts. And these auto prompts basically anything from like, it will write a full blog post for you to creating content ideas to all these different things, because they've made it easy where you can just click one thing and it says like, tell us a keyword and we'll write a blog. But above that, like behind that click is a huge, massive prompt that some marketer person put together. So AI PRM is like your kind of source for a lot of really cool prompts. And like I said, use it for ideas. So even if you're not going to like Sean said, you can plug in like, hey, can you decipher this? Or I even like to do it. You know what I've been doing it a lot because I hate the listing listing descriptions. I'll throw it in ChatGPT and be like, can you break this down into like the facts that I need to know? And I'll print it before I do a showing so that I don't have to read through all the bullshit of like the beautiful swamp overlooking all the mosquitoes.
Are you using the image like creation or anything like that with ChatGPT? Like I had it create. I don't know if any of you guys saw my Barbie meme. Every one of those images was created with ChatGPT. Like I just typed in Barbie drinking Starbucks, and then creates an image within 30 seconds. Like you might want to create something nicer than that, but
it's
it's
crazy
just cool the things it can do.
And that's in the regular ChatGPT, or is that another app?
I downloaded the app and I pay for it. I don't know if you can do that with regular ChatGPT, but I pay for it.
That's ChatGPT Plus. Is that what it is?
Yeah, whatever the
Sean,
app is, right?
You did the image right in ChatGPT.
Yep. I just type in what I wanted and it created it for me.
I know there's a lot of different like other image ones, so I didn't actually know that you could do just in ChatGPT an image. That's crazy. I spent all this time on it, and I don't know.
Yeah, it has basically freaking anything on ChatGPT now with if you download the app.
If anyone uses Bard though, Bard is Google's version, and it's like I said, if you use this for ideas, it's good. But Bard is like half the time crap and half the time awesome because it pulls from Google in real time. So you can ask it questions where ChatGPT is based off of 2 years ago. So you can use Bard as an alternative. But sometimes it doesn't answer the questions as nice. But sometimes you can like go back and forth. And I always try to like use each other's answers to kind of like direct where things are going.
I found two really good image ones. There was Stable Doodle. I don't know if anybody's tried that yet, but it's good for prompting it to come up with an image.
Stable Doodle?
Yeah, Stable Doodle.
That's cool.
I'm not trying to jump in here, but
yeah, you are.
I feel so thanks. I feel so overwhelmed by AI that I almost wouldn't mind having like a once a week 30 minutes that whoever wants to get together and just dive into AI. That way, like I feel like I'm staying on top of it because I feel like it's just I try and spend 2 hours learning something and I'm like, holy shit, now there's 8 more hours to learn of this. So I would just think it would be cool if anyone's interested of doing like a once a week 30 minutes, nothing crazy, and just talking about one section of AI and just like doing it together to like get familiar with it.
We can always hop on half an hour early. We can always hop on half an hour early before this starts and everyone can jump in and kind of like talk about the AIs they're using or whatever.
You know, I posted in our real workplace the other day looking for people that are using AI at a high level to see if anybody would want to come in and chat with us. And I got a ton of replies. So maybe that's something we could do like twice a month, just set up like a little secondary thing and have them come in and chat with us. And we can all kind of throw ideas around, kind of like how we're doing now, but just AI focused.
Kristen, not to jump on Sean's job, but maybe you should reply to like 3 or 4 of them and see if you could put a panel together and then come up with like a bunch of really good questions. And then that way figure out like what they're doing, how they're using it, how it's affected their business, and then have like an open question and answer, because that would be like a really good long form video in terms of like telling people things, but also it'd be informative. And then a panel of people would probably bring in a handful of different ideas, because I do think there's so many programs, like Wes just said, so many different facets and so many different things. So like from talking to clients to making pictures to rewriting things, like there's just so much.
Oh, and there's
Sorry,
so
Sean.
many
I
good
didn't
ones
mean
that
to, I
some
didn't
that
mean to,
doesn't.
I didn't mean to step on your toes, Sean.
This is before appointments with Kristen and Sean, okay? Not Kristen and Dan.
I wonder if we could change the graphic. Does anyone think they could put the graphic in AI and say the Kristen and Dan show?
Just cut me right out of it.
And then
Well, I
under
made
the
it.
Dan,
What
it
was
would
Wouldn't
say,
be
it would
hard.
say, sorry.
What was the AI where you can remove background noise? Me and Kristen were trying to figure that out this week.
Ah, it was
Auto,
one of the
auto
Adobe.
AI.
Was it
Or did
Adobe
you try
Enhance?
that? The notes I took when it was like the conference itself, I wrote down Adobe Premiere has a way of doing it, and also Auto AI, OTTO.
Yes.
Those ones that were
Oh,
up.
it was Adobe Enhance, I think. Yeah, because
Yeah.
I took that's one of the only ones I took notes on, Adobe Enhance, right? So for anyone who just joined, by the way, we our guest canceled today because of the hurricane, and we are just talking about AI.
I like Dan's face. He's like, I'm having a hurricane.
Yeah, Dan made it.
Can I just say Wesley's face the entire time when Jason was talking, like the first session on AI, Wesley was just like a 4-year-old at Christmas, like seeing like all these presents for the first time. It was
The people
that
in
in
front
itself
and
was
back
like
of
worth the
me,
price of admission.
I was cussing out the room for how overwhelmed that I was. Yes.
So where are you guys, Dan, to talk about what you were just talking about with the panel there? Where are you guys typing all these in? Where are you guys finding all these people to talk about AI? Kristen, where were you writing in if anyone knows anything about AI?
Sorry. So within Reel, we've got Workplace, which is like Facebook, but for everybody at our brokerage. So we can go in and leave messages for each other. So I just posted that we're looking for somebody that's really good with AI. We ended up booking Ray Ellen to come in because he's using it at a pretty high level. So he's going to come speak with us in October. But in the meantime, I had a ton of other agents reach out and give me some tips and say that they're using it. And if we wanted to have them in, they'd be happy to come in too. So we could start doing something once a week or every other week where we get together and just talk strictly AI after that.
Yeah, I met Ray. He was a great guy.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. All right, what other things did we learn about AI this week?
There was that really
Dan?
cool one that Jason Pantana showed us that was, it would transcribe your whole video and then you could delete a sentence or move it to the beginning and it would do your video for you. Does anybody know what that one was called?
Yes. Give me a moment. I have it written
I
down.
wrote the whole list down though. I didn't know we were
I'm not gonna lie, I'm
gonna
probably
use
gonna
it.
rewatch most of the AI stuff.
Dan, do you
Yeah.
have a username and password you'd like to share with the group? So we can rewatch it?
When I get one, I will.
Okay.
I put Descript, Premiere Pro, and Vimeo for text editing videos.
Descript is dope. If you've never used Descript before, it's really dope. There's a paid version, there's a free version. It is a desktop application.
Is that the
The
one where
coolest
you
thing
could like delete and move a sentence?
Yep. You can
Okay.
it's really, really cool. Basically, you can like space out things if you say so it's like really cool for shooting live video. So if you just shoot live video and you sit back and you say Sarasota is a really cool place. The beaches, yeah, okay, let's talk about it. So the beaches are really nice to visit during the winter, and then I can just cut out that really weird dead space and it will just merge it and it looks weirdly smooth. I had Descript for a while and I used it for a lot of different things. I don't know why I stopped using it.
Descript is the name of it though?
Descript.
And then the other one that I heard Jason mention for like 3 different things, it's like the one that seems like he uses it the most is Runway ML. It seems like it can do a multitude of things. I forget, like in my
Oh,
notes
my
I
notes
have,
here.
That definitely.
I have it that you can like prompt it to just like ask it like when you're like asking, give me a drone shot of like
Yeah,
LAS.
and that's the one that can move photos too for like a few seconds.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
But Runway ML seems to do a multitude of these things.
There was one thing he was talking about too that was terrifying. How one day we're all gonna get a call from like Joe Biden or whoever because they can replicate their voices on such a huge scale. So they'll be able to you'll be able to all have a conversation with Joe Biden at like the same time.
That's miserable.
Oh, that's hell.
Probably more intelligible if AI is doing it than the actual Joe Biden.
Exactly.
Well, and I think that's
Like-
why. Go ahead, Sean.
No, like I was just thinking, like cold calling is gonna be dead at that point. No one's gonna answer their phone.
I think that
it'll be our AIs talking to each other.
I think that's why it's so important to differentiate whenever you use AI, though, is because in the future, there are going to be tools that go against this, though. You know what I mean? There's going to be tools that go against auto, made up stuff, because it is getting to a point where it's getting a little too easy to go to put into ChatGPT, write me a blog about Sarasota, Florida. Now, how many other people are doing that and how similar is that information? So Google is definitely going to have something where they're going to want to scrape. There's different sites where you can take a full article. You can, even if you have a friend that's pumping out blog posts, go copy and paste it and go put it in an AI detection software. It will tell you exactly if they're just doing that or not. And now at some point, Google will do that. So if we're scared about a political piece, think about our business on a smaller scale and just know that whenever we are kind of trusting the output of content to AI, just make sure that we're deciphering a unique standpoint or a unique viewpoint that would make us different than most other people, because everyone that goes to these conferences and everything else is going to be doing the same exact thing. London, Ontario. What are 5 things to do in London, Ontario? At some point, there's only so much to do in London, Ontario. So just make sure you decipher and just, differentiate it so you're not kind of X'd out.
There's literally nothing to do here, so it's all just going to say the same thing.
It's just going to say drink syrup, smoke syrup, ingest syrup,
butter tarts and ketchup chips.
Yeah, they're working on
one
creating. They're working on creating AI bots right now because we're coming into an election cycle, and they're really worried about all these like deep fakes, all these bots, like AI creating all these ads. So that should be happening pretty quick. There's already some, like Google can already tell if you just take something from ChatGPT and transcribe it, like copy and paste it over. Like there's little like breadcrumbs in there that Google will pick up on and know that it's AI written. So if you do use AI to write anything, make sure to go in there and put it into your own words as much as you can, because most of the time they won't push it out as much if they know it's fully AI.
100%. Last night I was trying to get Sean and Giancarlo to help me come up with a title for my email that I sent out. And Giancarlo spat out a couple ideas. I'm like, that is all ChatGPT, and I could tell immediately.
My idea was all me.
Too bad it didn't show up because it was so good.
We are backer because it was Tyler Abacker. That was all me. Yeah,
Hey,
no
Sean.
one's laughing. All right. Anyway, this is another one I thought was great. Was Midjourney, where you can make AI will create thumbnails for you on your video. It was called Midjourney. Has anyone used that one yet?
That's the one that's through a Discord, right?
Yeah, it's through Discord. It'll also do like a lot of photos and like create images. Like Midjourney's mainly like image creating. And I think you
Creating thumbnails is huge.
Yeah, I think you might be able to do some video on Midjourney. I'm not sure though.
How much time would we save? Like just freaking. Oh, what happened there? How much time would we save just be able to like if it could run through and create us like a thumbnail for our YouTube video? Like that's things that I outsource to Fiverr or my virtual assistant, stuff like that.
Or to me at 11
Yeah, or
o'clock
to
at
you,
night.
Kristen.
Hold on, we're allowed to send
Yeah,
that stuff to you?
No. I can only do so much bad photoshopping at once. There's another one I came across that's similar to Midjourney. It's called Leonardo.ai. It's free and you get a certain number of credits that you can use per day, or you can buy more if you like. And it's pretty good. It's very similar to Midjourney, but not in Discord. It's desktop based.
Why don't me, Kristen, and Dan, or whoever else wants to join in, create our own like AI presentation for people?
Mm-hmm.
We could probably just look up all these things and then kind of make a slideshow. No?
Yeah, we could totally do that.
Dan seems to know a lot about it. Would you be interested, Dan?
Yes, we could do that. That's fine with me.
Can't hear you.
I said, can you not hear me? Hello, hello, hello.
Now I can. Now I can hear you.
I said that I'm down for that. Yeah. I think that there's a handful of things that we could probably cover just for different tools. Like, I mean, I think that you have like ChatGPT and Bard, and then there's a couple other tools that I use for blogging that work really well, like Grammarly. I don't know if anyone uses Grammarly, but Grammarly works really, really well at rephrasing things and kind of helping through blogging. And then so we could probably cover different sections of like, hey, content creation to image manipulation to, there's some really great like video ones out there that will cut up and splice video. I don't think anyone's doing podcasts, but there's a really nice podcast one that will actually, if anyone does podcasts, there's one that does a dual camera. It's a plugin for Premiere Pro, or I believe it's Premiere Pro. And it basically, if you have two cameras and the audio, it will cut the entire podcast for you within like 75 seconds. And it will, cut only when the other person's talking. So it literally saved for some people an hour and a half of time. And then we're talking like people that are developing a lot of podcasts and stuff like that. It's just now a click above a button. So it's like, it's hard because I think that there's like, we have a structure of the top tools, like a ChatGPT that is basically you're kind of Google now. Like that's our basis of what we're going off of. And then everything kind of works off of that to some degree. And then we have some tools that are just like transactional in the fact that it's like, we want to use it just for someone that's going under contract, or like there's very strategized tools that are specific. So I think it'd be interesting to know, maybe send out an email to everybody or send a poll through something to see what people are interested. Like, is it a base level? Is it understanding like what is AI and how much do we need to understand or lay it out before we jump into like, check out this tool that's going to break down podcasts? It's like, everyone's like, what the fuck is AI? So sorry that I swore, everybody. I know this is a family friendly podcast. But I think that like, even if it's on this phone call, I think there's like some people out there at the conference and some people weren't. And I think even some of the people at the conference, like Wes said, there's so much. So I think maybe figure out a taste to it, and maybe it's a once a month thing. Maybe once every other month, or once a 6 weeks is the AI phone call, and we, a phone call or whatever, and we do something. But either way, there's so much to cover, and I think it's developing as we see it. Like as we're talking here, in a month, there's gonna be a new tool that is better at something else. So I do think that's an ongoing conversation, but I'd love to hear from whoever's on this call and whoever is on the Facebook, maybe it's on Facebook or something like that, to know a poll of like, hey, are you using it as an entry level? And when we say entry level, it's like, are you just asking ChatGPT questions, or have you logged on to ChatGPT? And the secondary is like, are you using it at a high level, like, or even a medium level of like, I'm going to it on an everyday basis, talking to it about marketing things, asking it to write social media posts. And then the high level is like, I'm having it contact clients. I'm having it do phone calls for me. Kelly says I'm overwhelmed by it all. So yeah, I think that like, but that's the thing is, I think that if people are overwhelmed with it, why don't we break it down into palpable, pieces? So then if it can save everyone 30 minutes, what's 30 times 7? Someone do that number. It's 20.
210.
So
210. Yeah.
21.
Got that.
The point was 21 hours, like, right? Either way, if it saves you an hour a day, whatever it is, that's 7 hours a week. That's crazy. I mean, when you really break it down. So I think it's one of those things where if we can kind of find out how to help people and help them understand how it work, and not just like, and maybe this is just me, I hate hearing things that aren't going to be helpful to me. Like, I don't want to hear about AI that it's going to do a bunch of shit that I'm not going to, like, there's no purpose in telling everybody on this phone call about AI, about like podcasts. Everyone's like, I don't have a podcast. I want to make a post on social media, So I think that getting some of that information would be helpful.
It's
Dan,
gonna
you know
get so
what?
advanced too, because AI is gonna keep creating its own AI. Like there's gonna be billions of
AI
programs
is
as time
gonna
goes on.
continue creating its own AI. What did you say,
Like
Kristen?
AI is gonna be creating its own programs. I don't know how far this is gonna go. It's
Two things. There's just
he
going to
thinks
be
this is the
like
Matrix.
AI talking to AI, which is going to keep it busy that it's going to be too busy for us to use it. And then Dan, I don't know if you saw Noelle's message. She asked if where you're posting your blogs, and do you post to a personal webpage or are these social media posts?
Hi Noel. I post this to my website, my CRM website, my IDX website. So I have an IDX website for Local Life Homes. It's locallifehomes.com. It is my IDX landing, like basically it's my everything. So I blog post on that for SEO purposes. I wrote a blog like a week ago that's had it's funny because SEO and blogging's never gone out of style, yet no one likes to do it. I've over the past month, I think I wrote one blog on short-term rentals in Siesta Key, and it's had 1,000 people read it. So it's stupid. It's just like YouTube. It's just like if you write the right things with the right formatting, with the right keywords, you strike an audience because they're looking for that information. So I write about 3 to 5 blogs a week on that page, and it depends on what it is. And I try to go off of different. We probably should do a full call on blogging, but I break it down beforehand so I know exactly what I'm doing. And so I'll have ones because I farm Siesta Key a lot because our average house there's like $1 million. So for me, I love doing business there. So I always want to come up in that. So a lot of the blogs I write is like at least one of them is going to be about Siesta Key, living on Siesta Key. Nothing about real estate, just living on Siesta Key. I'll do another one during the week about real estate on Siesta Key. So whether it be condos, townhouses, and break that all up. I'll do other ones like that, and depending on where I get my leads from. So I get PPC leads from PPC is pay per click. So Google lead, I pay between $10 to $14 for someone to come to our website from there by searching certain terms. Now, those certain terms I will actually expound upon on our website on blogs. So one of them is like Venice, Florida. So we have a lot of people that search for Venice, Florida. That comes up on our IDX. It's going to show a bunch of homes. They're able to save it, make an account, all this and that. But the bigger thing is if they need information, they find us before I have to pay for them. So that's why I blog. That's where I blog. If you have any more questions about it, it's super powerful. If you don't like being on video, it's like you need to be writing like 6 blogs a day.
Are you emailing all these blogs out, or are they just going straight to your website?
So I I stopped my newsletter just a little bit ago because I had to rebuild it because it wasn't really hitting that well. And then what I wanted to do is kind of have a back supply of blogs and stuff like that. So I'm reconfiguring my newsletter, and I'm going to be starting to send those out again because it's going to infuse like my social media, the blogs, and then some other things. But I was just missing out on a handful of opportunities where people are reading them, but I wasn't really getting them to a call to an action. So I have a newsletter now that just talks about like our area and stuff like that, but I don't share the blogs.
Dan, you're actually saving this freaking show today, man. I'm very impressed.
Kristen texted me at 11 o'clock and she said, that's what happened. So I said, do you want me to jump on? Because I kind of felt bad and I was dealing with hurricane prep myself. People are like doing work outside the house.
And you knew I wouldn't have anything to say.
Well, yeah, that's it. No, so like in terms of blogging though, I will tell you like it is, I wish that I had maybe, I don't know if people are interested. It's like I have my website connected to Google Analytics. So if you have a website, make sure it's connected to Google Analytics. Now, Google Analytics, once again, probably another full phone call. Google Analytics is really, really, really great for understanding where your community is coming from, where your people are coming from, where anyone that lands on your website is coming from. What are they doing? So it's going to tell you, did they find you organically on Google or did you pay for them? If you're not running, paid ads, then who cares? But it's going to be, did they find you organically? Did they click from Instagram? How much time are they spending? So all these things go back to like, why we're creating the content. So like the content is like, if we're getting them to the website, they spend 2.5 minutes reading about a blog on Siesta Key. That means that they probably got some sort of value from it and they're going to like connect with me more. Now I have other things on that website to trigger them to sign up for more and do all these other things. So I'm able to do it. But without the analytics, I'm unable to see that full period for that first time they went onto my website to when they left, why they left, and how much time they spent there. Wesley.
Hey Dan, big fan from Connecticut here.
Hi, first time, long
Um,
time.
yeah. So one comment and then one question. If you guys are going to do AI chats, I definitely am not speaking for everyone, but I'm a seeing is believing. So like once again, when I found that, I think what was so overwhelming about Jason Pantana's thing is his time allotted and the things that he went through, and he would say it, I'd be like, holy shit, I need to see that. And then he would do it like that. So if you did something, I would love like, hey, this is what we can do, and here's 5 minutes of us doing it on this live. Like I think that would help. So that's just my one comment. And then number two, my question is, do you or does anyone know of a AI that can write a blog based off of a photo? Like for example, someone posted in a community forum of all the dates of all the local events, and I'm like, I want to make a blog about that. Can I just, does anyone know of an AI that I could take that date or all those dates on like a
So
screenshot and just be like, make a blog
should
on
be
it?
like you just want to take the information, like the 19, all the dates and stuff like that off of that, and then write a blog off of that.
Basically, and maybe I'm asking it to do too much. Like, there's maybe 15 dates and events all throughout my local area, and I wanted to know the dates, know the events, then look them up in its background AI capability
Yeah. So
and
just
make a
take.
blog on it.
Well, like, I mean, if you have to, you may have to type it out though. But like ChatGPT can do all that. So like, I would just write out, I have a picture of this and this. I want to write a blog using the following information that is on the picture. The picture is going to be the prime, imagery of the blog. And it's based, the blog is going to be based on this image. On the picture is these 7 dates. Can you please pull the background information and history of these dates, why it's important to Wellingford, Wellington, Connecticut, wherever the hell you are, Waterton,
Wallingford.
Wallingford. I should know this, guys. Wallingford. Why it's important to Wallingford, why people should know these stories, and it's going to pump out so much information. And then what you're going to do is then you're going to highlight certain pieces of it and go a little bit deeper. You're going to have to do a little bit of work though, and that's the whole greatness of it, is that you're able to tell it exactly the story you want to. But I mean, I think that just dropping a picture, that'd be great, but I don't like you would have to explain. You have to still explain a lot. And that's what the thing I love about AI is, like, if you get into really good detail and speak a lot into it. And like sometimes I'll even use my phone. If you don't have the app for your phone, get the app on your phone and you can hit the little microphone thing. And I find that the prompts I give it voice are way better than me typing. If I just talk to it like a person, it's so much better than me typing, because if I'm typing, I'm thinking like it's an email. I'm like, how do I properly say this? Or if I just grab my phone, I'm like, hey, I want to make a social media post about this, this, and this. I want it to be super engaging. I want people to share it. Please use this. Please give me the hashtags for this. This is what the photo is. And I just do it. And then it gives me out the way better stuff. So just maybe that's what you're kind of looking for. Maybe that's not what you're looking for. But I would say tell it exactly what you just said though, Wes. Like, tell ChatGPT especially, like, hey, I want to, especially blogging, because you don't want to get into like anything extra than that, because it's just going to water down the source.
I just think it's so funny how, yeah.
So just quickly, if you get the Chat GPT app, like it has a million options on it now, but there is an image recognition thing where you can put an image in there and it'll tell you exactly what's going
Look
on,
at this.
right?
I'm behind the times. Sean's fixing it all.
Oh, I use everything here. You can there's a AI therapist on here. I use it every morning.
Stop it, Sean.
And it's free? I don't think it's working very
No,
well.
I pay for this. I think it was like 89 for the year. That's Canadians, which is more than freaking worth it.
Oh, that's not what's the name of the app, Sean? You're on a different
This
app.
is chat. It's Chatbox. It's like a Chat GPT sub thing, right? It's called Chatbox. It's really good.
So that's a completely different app that I didn't even know about. I just use the one that Kelly's showing, the little actual Chat GPT one. That will hold your history. So like whatever you do on the internet, it will hold the history in your phone too.
Yeah, no, it has all the exact same things from Chat GPT and everything, right?
Chatbox.
Chatbox. It's really, really good, man. You can write song lyrics there, Richard, if you're a little stuck.
Richard.
Yeah, everything. Craft professional resumes, it'll check all your grammar for you if you type something in. It's really good. I created all the images for that one meme on there and it did it in like 3 seconds. It's really cool. Chatbox. I helped.
I found a cool one. It's called Type AI, and it is an AI keyboard that you can load right into your iPhone. So you can switch to that keyboard. You know how you can go to your emoji keyboard or whatever. You can switch through to that keyboard, type out whatever you're going to type, and then it'll rephrase it for you or do like all kinds of stuff right in your text box.
That's
One
really
more thing I
interesting.
wanted to click on before I forget with Dan. I use PPC pay-per-click for my Google, and it goes right through like my ID, my website, and everything to my CRM. And I'll pull it up next time. I had someone click on the PPC and have about an hour conversation with the AI text box, thinking it was me, and they booked them an appointment with me. I think I talked about this
Dude,
before,
that's
but it's
huge.
crazy how good it was.
How much did you pay for that lead to come in? And obviously, before I say this, obviously you have to average in all of the people that don't fucking purchase before you can actually do it for the real number. But I'd love to know how much that person costs. Like,
I'd say probably if I break it down, just
no,
$10
just
for that lead.
yeah, $10. Yeah, exactly. Isn't that crazy? And then you didn't even have to have
Yeah.
the conversation. Like, these are the things that are crazy about like AI, and I think that that's going to help huge. Is like there'll be other tools as it develops that will help with PPC campaigns. You'll be able to ask AI, hey, can you analyze my PPC campaign to, get rid of lower homes lower than $300,000 and promote more people looking for higher sold homes with these phrases or blah 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 blah. It's absolutely that's so cool, Sean. Dude, that's unbelievable.
And yeah, I actually have a showing today. And AI started the whole process for me. Then I took over, but like they got them set up with exactly what they were looking for. And then they asked a bit more about one of the properties, and I just jumped right in.
Mentioned to everybody what AI tool you're using on your IDX website?
Well, it's just a company I hired. They're called Agent Locator, and they just set the whole thing up for me. So I'm not sure exactly.
Will you ask them what the app is for us so we can
Yeah,
kind of figure it out?
100%.
Because
I'll ask them what they're using.
that's
Right?
really, really cool to know for like, because I would love to have someone I don't have that. So that's really cool, Sean. Like that's like,
And sometimes it's not perfect yet. Like sometimes it'll ask a redundant question and all that, but the fact that it takes over when I'm not there, because usually with those kind of leads, you have to be on them right away. Like if you're not calling them or texting them within 24 hours, someone else is. So just the fact that it jumped in right away for me was a huge thing, I think.
do you have automation set up on your CRM, Sean? So if someone comes on your website, it's going to email them saying like, hey, I set up a profile for you.
Yeah,
okay, that's awesome.
It puts them on a drip right away. They can pick what they're
Awesome.
looking for, and it sets them up on a drip right away. It actually sets up on an email campaign, and I turn it off and on because I have my own email. And you can turn the chat off and on. And I love my CRM. I'll kind of go over it next time. I'll do a screen share, and then I'll show you guys the full conversation.
That's really, really good, because I think that having that flow from having the person that's super cold come in and be able to decide that the interaction that they want to have is super hands off for them. Because sometimes even when you have a lead that comes in, for me at least, I always want to call them. They're not ready for a phone call. Like if anything, sometimes they want to push back on that. So it's like sometimes 100%. Nice to give them the handbook or the directions to say, hey, you can contact me how you want, or you can talk to me here, even though it's not you, it's just some AI bot. But if you're giving them the roadmap, but you're also not letting them go too far. You're saying, hey, you make it easy, we can talk or whatever. I like that.
I know
and I also, it lets me know when they looked at a property, which property they looked at. Like I'll get an email, like they looked at this property 3 times, so I know exactly what they're interested in, kind of thing. Sorry, Wes, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say that I know that Ylopo, which is a big thing. I think it links with a bunch of CRMs. That does a lot of chatting for you. It creates a website and stuff. But I know that I saw a recent presentation where this dude is basically goes and buys really cheap leads that are like junk leads, and he lets Ylopo talk to them for 6, 12, 18 months, and then it lets him know when they're getting more ready, and it just links him in automatically. So he's like, I'm getting these leads for cheap, and I have 10,000 leads right now in my sphere that are being talked to daily with Ylopo, and I just get touched in when it's important.
That's super cool. That's really cool.
I still think it's super important. I still think it's super important to be engaging yourself with all this stuff, but like when you can't, the AI takes over is good, because again, people would rather talk to people, I think.
I want to hear how Andrew's using Ylopo because he says that he uses it. Have you used any of the chat features, Andrew?
They have their AI is called Raya. So AI that automatically just like starts engaging with the leads as soon as they take to any of sort of, they call them listing alerts. So anytime a listing alert pops up on a Facebook ad or an Instagram ad, and they engage with it, then Raya starts engaging with them the same way with Sean with Agent Locator. I think in the same way, and starts them on a drip campaign. But the beauty of Ylopo that I'm finding, and I don't really have proven results to this yet because it's only been like 6-7 weeks that I've been doing it, is that I get to, like, I have my own content, my own sort of like 15-second seller clips and buyer clips that I shoot myself. And then those are the ads that they're also getting on Facebook and Instagram stories and whatnot. So they can see my face. So like if I have an open house lead, they sign in through a jot form on my tablet that immediately goes into my follow-up box. They're immediately tagged to go into Ylopo. So they're immediately getting content of me on Facebook ads, Instagram stories without me having to do anything. So they just walk through the door of the open house and they're just seeing me now for months on end, of however long I want to campaign them. And then I'm seeing them engage with the listing alerts that are tailored to, you know, the price point that I met them at the open house on Facebook and Instagram ads as well. So I'm getting to track sort of, you know, like their activity. And then, you know, Ryan can follow up with them, or I can shut that off and I can engage with them myself. They're automatically put on a weekly newsletter campaign that I have as soon as they come through the open house as well. So any leads that come in as well. And then also we have a service in Austin. I don't know if it's everywhere. It's called Remine, where you can basically farm, you can just farm anybody in the city, and not everybody's data is out there, not everybody's emails out there, but I literally just took, there's something called a sell score in Austin, where basically, you know, they're tracking, you know, like your purchases on Amazon. They're tracking, you know, like if you're in a 2-bedroom home and you, you're looking for baby products all of a sudden. And then they're thinking like, okay, you might be on a high sell score because you might be upgrading to a bigger house because you have a growing family. So I clicked through all the high sell scores in the city and I just dumped them. Instead of having Ylopo farm leads for me, I just dumped high sell score leads into Ylopo and started retargeting them on with my videos and stuff. And then I started seeing like, if I put like 700 in there, I started seeing engagement with like 60, 70 of them. And then I just started, you know, like slowly following up with them. So
Yo, Andrew,
really cool. Sorry.
I love how you were just like, I won't let Ylopo do the farming. You forgot to mention because I do the farming, bitches. Because
Yeah,
that's
I mean,
literally
like,
that's farming right there, man. Remind anyone in the United States, just do exactly what Andrew just said, and you will have so many good listing, like at least people to talk to or have to reach out to, even cold call, write postcards to, because like that sell score, it's wild how decently close that is.
And like, been weeks for me, so I can't really speak to, you know, the effectiveness of it, but it just, you know, as Dan says, I have a lot of faith in sort of, you know, the farming capabilities of it and like what the sell score represents. So I'm just hoping that, you know, like what you said, Dan, like that's actually going to pan out. But I really can't, you know, at 6 months from now, I'll be able to tell you, like, I'll have data points to be like, oh yeah, it resulted in this.
Tristan, you need to set a reminder for 3 months from now to schedule Andrew to do a full hour talk about this. The fact that I've only known, I know how to do that stuff, and I start talking about that stuff to someone, and people are like, "What the fuck?" Except for you broke it down, brother, and you're doing it right now. So I'd love to hear a report back on like how strong that is, because you're going right to like the bottom and serving yourself like at a very low cost, most likely because you're retargeting them, and you're creating a very quick and easy transaction for them to like just take on who you are while coming from totally different people. Like there's no one, it's not like you're you know paying for these people beforehand. You're reaching out to people that most likely will sell their house in the next 3 years. Boom.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're definitely getting Andrew on. Is anyone using AI to develop like flyers or like door hangers kind of thing, or that would just come down to kind of the same thing as making thumbnails? What?
I will say this just on the door hanger front. I showed, I think, Dan and a couple people my door hanger at the conference, and I got a couple of listing appointments out of them. But I will say that infusing my personality into them, I think, has helped me a lot as well. Like the engagement that I've gotten off of them, like I could tell my personality resonated with people. And maybe ChatGPT can give you sort of like, like a canvas to work through, but I would recommend, just sort of like personalizing it yourself, having your voice be put in there yourself, because I think that also resonates with the consumer too.
Should I give the bad warning about AI? Make sure that you're only using AI to help yourself and help your business. Don't get lost in all of the crazy different tools and all of the education and all of the different stuff and all the being confused. Just know that you're doing great just the way you are. I hate when new tech
Thanks,
comes
Dan.
out. And
Dan's so nice.
I hate when
there
new
was
tech
one
comes out
more
and
I
there's so many
wanted
people that
to
are confused.
There's one more I want to talk about. We need to make a list this week. Maybe we'll start a group chat. Multimedia magic. You can add color and stuff to black and white photos. I was actually testing that one out this week. It's really cool. Frick, I wish I had everything ready. I didn't know we were doing this today. But yeah, I know. Sorry, Tyler canceled on us. But yeah, it's literally really cool. You can add like all these old photos. I was taking like my grandpa's old war photos and I was adding a bunch of color to it. It's not perfect yet, but it's pretty cool. Multimedia magic. Anyone else? Went quiet there. I'm feeling uncomfortable. Dan, take over. Tell us something.
So I would love to know at what level anyone that can talk that's on this call. I've only heard from a handful of people that are using AI. I'd love to know the people that are not using AI. Can you ask me a question or talk to anyone else on here? Because there's been a handful of people that are using different things, but are you able to mention how you'd love to start using AI, the things that are holding you back, or where you're at with AI? So anyone that's on the call that just wants to chime in, just use this as a round table. Sounds good, Kelly. We'll start with you.
Okay, hold on, I'm mute. I'm completely overwhelmed by AI. So I've used ChatGPT for basic stuff, for helping with listing descriptions. And honestly, I didn't love it. Like maybe it was my prompts and what I was putting in there. I ended up changing most of it. I felt like I used it to get me started. But I am like overwhelmed by it all. Like just talking about all these things that y'all just mentioned, I just made a list, but I don't even know. It's kind of like Wes was saying, like, I feel like I need a visual. Y'all are like talking about like, it'll do this, but I'm a visual person. So like, I want to see what you're saying. Like that would be beneficial to me. I would love to implement this in my business. I'm like a one-person show. I work for an independent broker. I don't have a team. I'm by myself. I'm in a big kind of growing phase. So I really kind of need these tools to help me in my business to take some things off my plate, but I'm completely just like hearing all this stuff. My brain's like, feels like it's about to explode. So I don't know. All of this is fantastic. But just, I think visually seeing it would help me improve like in my business, like efficiency and things like that. And just getting out there more. I've really stepped off of social lately and haven't been doing as much. I'm not really blogging. I mean, I'm on every freaking platform there is, and I'm trying to like juggle all of them, but I'm doing a terrible job of keeping up with all of these. So if I can automate some of that, that would be fantastic.
I would say get a virtual assistant to help with that for now. Like if you're trying to post everywhere, getting like when I had my VA doing all that, it's like all the places I was forgetting to post on was a lifesaver. Like LinkedIn, I never post on Google My Business. Sorry.
I don't do LinkedIn either.
Yeah, but you know what? I get people that I don't engage with in other places on LinkedIn and stuff. Like I think it is important to post everywhere, but like we only have so much time in a day. We can't just post everything everywhere. Like I focus mainly Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. That's where I've gotten business from. And then Agent Locator covers my website and all that. And then I have people doing my LinkedIn, and I got to start doing more Google My Business and all that.
Noelle, you were going to tell us about your AI journey.
Yeah, just very similar to Kelly. I'm a one-woman show and just I feel overwhelmed. I'm super excited to start using AI to help me build my business. And I guess how I would like some help and some support is I'm pretty good with writing content, but if it can help me speed things up, that's great. I want to use it more for generating ideas for posts. I love that. Like just some days when I'm not feeling like I have a ton of inspiration, to go to AI and ask for some prompts and things that I could be doing videos on, or blog posts. I definitely want to start more blogging. So yeah, but like Kelly, I just feel super overwhelmed. I have like 8 or 10 things written down, and I promise I'll leave today and probably not do any of it because my head just feels like it's going to explode. I do want to figure out if I can use it to better connect leads. Like you guys talk about all your lead funnels that you have set up and taking people from social media. I just looked at your webpage, Dan. It's amazing. I need to get better at figuring out how I could just better funnel leads. And maybe it's a new CRM I need to embrace. Maybe the one I'm using right now isn't super great for what I want it to do. So if anyone's interested or willing to take some time and start with some of the newbies and just show us how we can be more efficient, more creative, and provide more inspiration to some of our content.
That's exactly why I asked this question. I think it's so important.
Yeah, thank you for asking it.
I think it's important to hear from everybody like where they're at, because like I said, jumping into like there's some people like Andrew who's using some of these products and different things at a very high level to like farm people. And then there's, I saw that, I forget who was in the chat here. Jamie was like saying Video Leap, and she's sharing a bunch of things she's using. Those are very direct and very strategical. I do think that there needs to be like a better understanding of it. So possibly in the future, or a side call or something like that, maybe we could do like a 10-15 minute walkthrough of some basic things. Like Kelly, you said, because I think that a lot of it is prompt stuff. So like if just working with ChatGPT alone, I know that AI PRM would help you a ton, Noelle. Like there's a ton of things on there. If you are already decent at writing, but you may need a little help, maybe it's like, hey, maybe that's a great idea, and we should, break that into 3 different parts and fill up those 3 different parts. And now it's 3 different pieces of content or whatever it is. But there's also, we would have to jump into it. I think that hearing this is really good to hear, because it does seem like there's different people on different levels. And then there's weirdly overlap too. Like I know a bunch about Remind, but Andrew's doing it that I probably know and I don't know a lot about. So it's good to hear. Anyone else have stuff that they don't know about AI, or don't know about ChatGPT, or don't know about anything?
And to be able to screen share too, and really like Kelly,
visual.
I'm like, I need to see it and do it, and would be great. So whether there's like a week where we just
I did this just like a week ago with someone from Real. They called me and said like, could you have a minute? Like a minute. It was like turning to be like an hour and a half. And like we spent like just a bunch of time on Zoom and screen sharing. And so I think we should do that and like just take up some time going from like, my background's in marketing. I think a lot of you guys know that, but I think that a lot of you guys, if you don't have a background in marketing, you can now use AI for so many things. Hey, I'd love to come up with a marketing campaign that goes around the farming that I do in this area. How can I develop more of a local, and these are all things you can do and get out of it. So I think that it's helpful if we've got in there and then like we pick someone's town and we produce some stuff instead of me doing it for me. Let's talk about London, Ontario. Let's talk about, Noelle, where are you again?
I'm just north of Toronto. Barrie is like the largest city.
I should just call it Ontario. It's just a whole country. There's so many.
Well, let's not.
Yes. Dan, can I chime into what you're saying?
No.
Like just something very simple like this, Noelle. You could actually give me a call after. Like I want to do client events this year and I don't know where to start. I literally just typed in 10 client events for a realtor and it gave me 10 really great detailed ones.
Love it.
Like,
yeah.
Like, right. Just start simple like that. And one more thing I was going to say, Wes talked about something great on our last call, where if you have a million things you want to do, take the top 2 and then get rid of all the rest until those 2 are done. To the top 2, you want Wes, elaborate on that one a little bit. I love that, what you said.
It's the doing done list. So you put everything you have to do in your to-do list, everything you need to do. You can only put 2 things in your doing list at any point. And then of course, when you're done, you put them over into the done list. So it forces you that you can't work on more than 2 things at any given time. Because I'll start 20 things before I finish the first, and then I get screwed.
I did that, by the way, Wes, and it was very helpful. So I really appreciate you bringing that up.
Good.
No, it was awesome, Wes. Like I had heard about it before, but I think I, like many things, I let it go through my. Like
Gotta hear it 8 times before it sticks.
Yeah.
So Wes,
You
just
definitely
keep
want to
bringing
make
it up.
these
Even if one
when
of
I
your
clip down your
doing
video.
things is doing the to-do, doing and done list.
Giancarlo,
The
what about you, buddy?
The do-do list.
Sounds
can't
good.
talk
That's
right
good to
now.
hear.
Thank you, John.
Good to hear from you.
Hey,
This
another
was a
great
really,
one.
really
Oh, James, let's hear it.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Hey,
What's going on,
another
James?
great one that
James.
just looking at futuretools.io. They have it cataloged like 2,120 different AI tools. So you just click like, hey, I'm looking for AI detection or motion capture, video editing, and it's when I first started using it, it was at 1,000. That was only like 2 months ago. But so that's a nice place to start because you're like, hey, I'm working on this, rather than just like getting so overwhelmed with all these different tools and try to remember it. So I just go to here and
James, can you
futuretools.io.
can you drop that link in the chat? If not, you can spell it out for Sean to type in the chat, because that's cool.
Yeah, just future and tools.io.
Future.tools?
No, futuretools.ai.
.io.
IO, my bad. IO,
Yeah.
everybody.
Kristen's got it. She's better at spelling than me.
Yeah. So that one's pretty helpful.
That's really cool. And so is it just like a conglomerate of all the tools that are going on?
Yeah, it just catalogs it all. So you can just search like, I want to create images from text, and it will pull up a bunch of different ones. You can even like select free or freemium or paid. So there's a lot of free ones for like whatever you're usually working on. So I use that. And then another one I like using, I don't know if anyone does long form videos here, but that's usually what I do and not so much the short form. So I just do video, like video AI or .ai, and that could just like put my YouTube link and it'll cut down like 6 different shorts, and I'll automatically put all the captions on it and everything else. So that makes it a lot easier to take the long form to the short form. Or if you do have just a short form video you want to throw it on there, and they'll let you do like 80 minutes a month for free, like 80 total minutes of your videos. So that one's a pretty good one too. Yeah, that one.
It's insane how many apps there are now. Like ChatGPT, I feel like just came out. Like by next year, there's gonna be 1 billion of them.
James, where are you? What market do you serve?
Denver, Colorado.
Very, very, very cool. These websites were awesome. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah. Where are you from, Darren?
I am from Sarasota, Florida. So I am in the west coast of Florida, about an hour south of Tampa.
Okay. Yeah, I know Noah Ward is a agent down there.
Yeah, I know.
He's like
Noah.
big on like TikTok and stuff.
Yeah. That's what he's. Yeah.
Love you, James.
Cool. Love you too, Sean.
He's like the dad. He's the dad this week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me and Kristen decided we were mom and dad. we were
out. Guys, I have a listing appointment at 1:45. I gotta get going to. I don't know if you guys want to keep this going or if you want to end it now, but I gotta tap out.
Yeah, why don't you go?
This was amazing.
Why don't you go get that listing?
Yeah, I already kind of have it. We're just kind of like we're just looking at some things. I already kind of nailed it. $2 million, by the way, guys. If you're
already kind of nailed it. I'd love to know the part that you didn't nail.
Well, I already like
kind of nailed.
It's a long story. They already bought a house, and then their buyer or their seller defaulted on a private sale, so now they have to sell it. So I already got it.
God bless.
Yeah.
That's cringe.
Sorry.
I don't know. Alex just said cringe in the comments, so I want to tell you it was cringe.
Alex, stay out of this. But yeah, no, sorry, where was I? But this was really, really good. I appreciate you hopping on here, Dan, and saving the day. Because Tyler kind of bailed last minute, so he's banned.
Yes.
I know there's a hurricane. He's okay.
It's okay. We're live on Facebook, so he's hearing you say that.
I'm just kidding, Tyler. We love you, Tyler. No, I hope he's safe. He's not actually banned. But no, Dan, thank you for coming on. That was awesome. I'd love to talk to you guys more about planning something where we can show more visuals about the AI we're talking about. I think it would help a lot of people.
And if anyone has questions, reach out on the Facebook page and drop like if you have that, if Kristen's going to make a poll on the Facebook page, but you're going to drop some also, like drop if you have other direct questions or things that would really help you, because I think it'd be really cool to come up with a better strategic call on answering some questions and getting people to start using it. Sorry, Kristen, to interrupt. Go for it.
Oh, that's okay.
Kristen loves poll.
I love polls. Wait, no. I meant question polls. Oh my God. I think I need an adult. Anyways, I took a ton of notes today. I don't know if anybody else did. If you did, can you send them to me? And then I will compile it all and make a Facebook post about it. Promise not to talk about polls anymore.
Did Dan just leave?
Yeah, I think he did the Irish goodbye. Classic.
Nice. Didn't like the poll joke.
Maybe the hurricane
okay.
hit him. I don't know.
We'll cut all this part out of the video. Anyway, that was really good though. I think I learned a lot from this one, more than a lot of our episodes that were actually planned.
You think you learned a lot?
Yeah, I definitely did. I don't know. I'm a little overwhelmed with all this AI. So
thanks, everybody.
Yeah, this was awesome. Yeah. Thank you, everybody. Right. If anybody took any notes, please DM them to me and I'll compile it all into a Facebook thing and we can drop it in there and we can loop back. I have a hole in our schedule for November 6th. So why don't we do November 6th just be like completely AI, and we'll have a panel of people come in. We'll share screens and we'll do like one thing that we can all do together. I don't know if everybody has a second screen, but maybe you can tune in on your phones and then use your laptop and we can build something together that day.
I think we should do something once a month, half an hour early too, where people can hop on and we just talk about the AI stuff. Because this is going to be changing so rapidly. I think like people are going to really be interested in seeing what's going on with this.
100%.
Yeah, we'll
my
talk
notes
to Dan
are
and
my
Wes
8
and Richard.
tabs on my computer.
Okay, send me
and
a picture.
I actually took a bunch of notes from Jason Pantana that day, so I have a whole email list. I'll go over it.
Yeah, so did I.
All right, guys. I'm leaving. You guys want to keep talking? That's great. Just don't talk about me. I can see this live. So all right. I love you all.
Thanks, Sean.
That was great. No problem, guys.